Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
We're super excited to have with us today Kelly Simcoe Walker from Cafe 220 right here in downtown Statesville. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We love the 220 Cafe. I haven't had lunch yet, so I'm thinking, I might go there to eat lunch today.
I could have brought you some.
I know. I get the same thing every time I go for lunch. The exact same meal.
You do?
Yes.
Fish tacos.
Yes. See, she even knows my order.
I am always torn because I want, some of the small plates. I want some of the appetizers. I want one of the sandwiches.
Well, their Brussels sprouts are good, too.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
No, beef and beets all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, because if I find something I like, then I want to eat it. And your hummus. That's my other favorite. The
You
hummus.
eat salmon?
I do eat the salmon. Yeah. So I haven't really had it, but
fish tacos are our favorite.
They are the best. And my favorite side is the blue cheese coleslaw.
Oh, yeah.
Don't tell me it's going away. Oh,
It's
crap.
not going away.
Okay.
It's not going away. It is very loved. We had to move it to the dinner menu as well. So it comes with our pork chop with the roasted beets and balsamic reduction. Yeah,
It is the
really
best.
good.
I promise this whole episode is not just going to be talking about food, but maybe I'm not
We should have
opposed to
brought
it.
samples and we could have tried them and talked about
Right.
them. But maybe next time.
Next time. Oh, but Kelly, thank you for joining us. And one of the reasons why we're really excited to have you here with us today is we know that Cafe 220 Cafe is coming up on a 13-year anniversary. And
Wow.
Lucky number 13.
that is so exciting.
Yes.
Will you share a little bit about just the last 13 years and where
A
you're
little?
at?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so for those watching that might not know, we're located in downtown Statesville. We're a contemporary American restaurant. Monday through Friday, we're open for lunch from 11 to 2:30, and then we shut down and prepare to switch over to our dinner menu, which kind of steps it up a bit with fresh seafood and steaks and the small plates you're talking about that everyone loves. And then Saturdays, we're open all day from 12 to 9, and we kind of switch around 4 to that dinner menu. And then Sundays, we have a little family day. So
Nice. It's needed, I'm sure.
yeah, but full bar, full service. I feel like we've got great staff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Food's fresh.
Absolutely.
I married the chef, so we don't have a revolving kitchen door.
That's,
so
good. He's not going anywhere.
There's some consistency there. So
Have y'all always had the same ambiance and menu the whole 13 years, or have you had to adjust it based on? So what did that look like? How did y'all come?
we haven't changed it as much in the past couple of years. But when we first opened, obviously we were figuring out what worked and what didn't work. And so we would do some seasonal changes on the menus, maybe a short rib and then a duck, or, maybe something didn't sell, and so we tried to reinvent some other dish. But yeah, I mean, it's constantly changing, and we're really good about running specials and, different options for our regulars who come and want to see some different things when they come. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like when, you run those specials, they truly are special. It's not just like it's grandma's meatloaf or anything like that. You guys really pull together some fantastic specials. So, and you mentioned that you do seafood. You have a lot of seafood items that you run, and I so appreciate that because we just don't have that in our area, and it's just near and dear to my heart. I love a little seafood.
And it's my husband's favorite
really?
thing.
Is that what
Yeah.
he likes to cook the most?
Yes, he loves doing seafood dishes. So he likes to get creative with his, I think he did Bear Monday with a mixed berry relish with a little bit of jalapenos and sweetness this week. It was really good. And I think we're looking at swordfish for this weekend. So
So how do you get inspired? Just whatever you feel like making, and you just say, I think I want to try this. Do you try them on yourselves first, or your staff?
So our staff, we definitely always do kind of a meal. I mean, not always, but mostly if we can for the staff, so they know how to describe it and explain it and sell it, because obviously that's key, right? If it's not on the menu, and we get 20 pounds of this, we want to move 20 pounds of that.
Sure.
So, yep.
Yeah, that's fun. One of the things that I'm so grateful for having such a fantastic upscale dining restaurant in our town is that you you made it through COVID.
No, we made it through
You
COVID.
made it through COVID.
Whew.
Talk about some of the creativity that maybe went into coming out of the other side of COVID. What was that?
Well, going into COVID, 2019 was a pretty spectacular year, and we were plowing into to 2020, and then boom. We're very fortunate that we work in our business. So when it was time to shut down and go to a carry-out service only, it was like, all right, how do we do this, and not throw away food? I mean, 220 is not necessarily a restaurant you put in a box. You're not going to order a $40 filet.
Right.
And put it in a box and take it home. You pay for that experience. And so we had to figure out a different menu, family-style options. I cooked lunches, John cooked dinner. We decided to repaint the restaurant and make the most of that time. And then, as we reopened at 30% capacity with very strict limitations inside, we were fortunate that our staff came back.
That's good.
And that's been really the blessing for us that I know a lot of restaurants struggled with. Because they were receiving, the pandemic unemployment and only being open at 30%. There's really no guarantee that that's going to be enough for them
Right.
To survive.
to say that it works,
Yeah,
right? So,
right.
but we were really fortunate. And, I've had some great staff. Alicia's been there 10 years, Isaac 7, Brittany 7. For a restaurant,
That is pretty
it's
amazing.
a big deal, yeah.
And they're part of that experience, right?
Right. So I think just as you maybe want to see Kelly when you go to 220 or talk to John, Brittany and Alicia and Shania and so many of the faces that are there every time you go are part of the experience as well.
Oh, yeah.
And they feel like, that's what you want. For me as a boss, I want you to love it as much as I love it because it's going to be in your hands like it's in my hands.
Right.
And my girls, they really do love it.
That's fantastic. Well, that says a lot about the leadership then. So,
And y'all took over full ownership a year ago.
Yeah.
So what's that been like? I mean, you've been in the business for how long have you been there? The whole 13?
Yep. So I opened it with my cousins, and then Lisa and Bill McBain and I purchased the business as a partnership in 2015.
Right.
And it was always meant to get it to where it needed to be. Bill laughs. He's like, what am I doing? I don't know anything about a restaurant, And I'm like,
Sure.
I know. And he's like, what do you think about this? And I'm like, oh, well, we'll try. But they were awesome, supportive, patient. I couldn't have had a better partnership. And luckily, we were able to return their investment and keep going. And
Oh, that's wonderful.
it's been awesome.
That's like a true story, though, for any business owner. You start out in a group endeavor, and to go from
there were
that-
many years I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I imagine.
It's a terrifying thing,
Yeah.
You want to make sure you do your best, and we work hard, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So we love what we do.
It's
hands
very,
down.
Yeah, it's rare that I don't see you there at some point of it, if it's at lunch or, but you do manage to balance. I do kind of have that question is like, how do you balance your family? Because you both work there. You have 2 beautiful daughters that y'all are raising.
Yes.
How do you, how do you manage all of that?
Whew, did you say balance?
I did. Okay.
No, we.
It's always a teeter-totter, right?
Well, and that goes back to the staff. So
Yeah.
we really try to be home during the school year with the girls. So obviously Friday and Saturday nights, John and I are both there every day during the day. The girls are in school, and then I try to be there Wednesday nights. It's our half-price wine night, and it's
That's a busy night.
it's a very busy night. Our favorite people always come in on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
It's such a great atmosphere.
Sure.
And then Fridays and Saturdays, obviously, in the restaurant business are just where it's at.
Yeah.
So we're definitely there. And then we juggle,
You have good support system
And we
behind
do.
you.
We have, I can empower the people at 220. And really that's been, I don't know how to explain it, like empowering them to make the decisions they think that we would make.
Yeah.
And they do, and they're proud of it. They take pride in it.
That's
So it allows us to be more balanced.
And let and delegate a little more and feel like, okay,
Right.
we know that everybody's in good hands.
Yes.
And that longevity in your staff makes a huge difference because they
It
do
does.
know how John and Kelly want things done.
Oh,
and-
they do. And if I get new staff, I'll get a text. Who is here? What is going on? And I'm like, don't worry.
From the patrons.
Brittany's still there. Ellie's still there.
It's
So,
definitely,
it's
you
neat.
definitely are one of those places that is familiar. You know what you're getting when you go. If it's your first time, it's a great experience. But then, coming back, it's just, you have your regulars, like you said.
We do. We have awesome. We love our community,
Yeah.
and 2010, the milestone of Streetscape,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
which, we were phase 1 of, and we opened November 2010. And 2 bulldozers and a fence went right in front of the restaurant by February of 2011. But, I mean,
Yeah.
to survive that and to see the change for
Yeah.
downtown, I mean,
It
it's
took
just
it
incredible.
was hard to see it in the middle of it, but it's
Yeah.
definitely
Mhm.
it's definitely a beautiful. And now you're kind of going through a little bit of that now with the Vance Hotel and
Oh,
the
yeah.
changes there. It's not quite as dramatic, but you're still losing, some of that parking and some while they're doing all that.
I think for a couple of years we'll have a little bit of construction in the
Yeah.
backyard, but again, the end result of
Yes,
that
gonna
is
be-
just
yeah,
amazing,
it's
right?
gonna be another additional.
We're excited about it.
That's good.
And it's such a beautiful building, and I'm glad it's finally really
Yeah.
taking off. And it really is taking off. I mean,
Yeah.
it's lit up at night. They have power in there now, so when you drive by, it's just
I need
it's
to
neat.
I need to pay attention to that when I'm leaving. You just kind of get in the zone, and I pass by it every day going home, and
Oh, yeah.
I just
Mhm.
don't even look. So
You mentioned the community and how much you love the community.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to give you a big shout out because I know that you're a great partner in the community too. You do a lot. When you, as far as catering, you have a huge catering business that I know that so many people benefit from. And you guys, that's on its own a huge business for you. And your staff is there. You and your husband, you're all out there. There's nobody else that's doing this. You're running the business in the restaurant and this catering. So it's incredible.
Yeah, I think we learned quickly that getting off the ground, we needed some of that outside love, right? And the Chamber was actually our first large event, was the annual awards in 2012. And you look at 220 and it's food truck of a kitchen and you're like, how are you going to cater 200 people, right? So building that and showing that we were capable of that was huge. And, from the Chamber event led us out to the Carolina Balloon Festival, where we started the VIP hospitality tent, because we thought it was really important that the local businesses, the sponsors on the level of like your Randy Marion and your Wells Fargo and that saw that, we were capable of catering like this and call me for your Christmas party.
shameless plug, go for it, girl.
But hurry.
Yeah,
Because we're
right.
filling up. But yeah, so yeah, it's been a huge part of our business and a blessing because, it's now Statesville is really booming.
Yes, right.
But we saw that growth and we grew with it basically. So
Yeah, definitely.
It's been,
Adaptability is huge
Yeah.
in a business.
yes, with the same size restaurant,
Yeah, no change.
right?
Yeah, right.
So but it's all good things. It's all
Yeah.
great things.
And will you share with us any advice or lessons that you've learned from this business journey that may benefit, inspiring entrepreneurs, anybody that's out there looking to start their own business?
Don't. No, I'm just kidding.
I hear that a lot.
Right.
Take care of your people. That's my biggest thing. I feel like the relationships that we've built and, making sure that we put those in front of ourselves and their needs. And, obviously it's really paid off for us in retaining, staff retention and customer retention. But yeah,
Yeah, that's
really,
huge.
Really important.
That is a huge piece, and we really see that in your business. So it's not just talk there.
Besides the things we've already talked about, as far as milestones, obviously opening the business, managing through COVID, buying it out and being your own, having no partners and adding your catering. Are there other milestones that you're really proud of that maybe others don't know about, that could be smaller little milestones but you feel really proud of? Or
Well, we won a awesome award this year.
Oh, that's right, you did.
Oh, we did.
Yes, you did.
2022 Small Business of Excellence
Yes.
through the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Um,
Y'all were serving the meal and then getting an award.
I know.
That was wild, right?
It was intense, but it was awesome. So thank you for that.
Of
Yeah, we,
course.
we just want to keep growing. There's so much going on. We love what our Adult Arts Council is doing, in the community, and, Discover Statesville, and, all of these events that have been in place, and the new events and the new opportunities to reach a new demographic for us to bring into the restaurant, to bring to downtown. We just want to keep supporting that and growing with it because we just think it's awesome.
I always say the community that I live in, it's on the southern part of Statesville, and there's a lot of people that do not know anything about downtown Statesville.
Yeah.
They go south for everything. And I'm like, I live in this cul-de-sac, and I'm the neighborhood Statesville authoritarian about all things Statesville, which I love because I'm like, yeah, call me if you have questions. They're like, so tell me about this plate, where should I go for dinner? And I'm like, giving them all the places, and they're never south, they're never in Mooresville, they're always here.
Well, and we find that with Troutman,
Yeah.
We are, Mooresville's downtown might even be a little bit further than we are.
I think it probably.
And we see more and more of like,
I think people are just realizing there's some things north
Yes.
of them that they just never thought of before. So I think that's a wonderful thing. And there's so many people. I mean, the neighborhood I live in, I'm trying to think of how many houses there are. There's hundreds. And I'd say more than half of them are not from this area. They have moved here and they are learning and trying, so if we can get half of them to come downtown or into Statesville in general to shop and do all the things that they think they can do out that way. Of course, we don't have some of the stuff that they need, but 90% of what you need, you can get down here.
Well, I can tell you that when we first opened, Saturday was the hardest day of business to build. And it blew my mind because coming from a restaurant, somewhat, I have a large background, but I did work in corporate restaurants for a long time, and Fridays and Saturdays were your night. So it really blew my mind that, it was such a hard day to build. And now they would say, well, Statesville's a Friday night town. It always has been a Friday night town. And I'm like, no, not anymore.
That's good.
We literally do more on Saturdays sometimes than we do on Fridays
What's
now.
the hours on Saturday there?
12 to 9.
Yeah.
Yep,
Well,
straight through.
That's good. And I think that's a newer phenomenon as we've gotten more things that are downtown for people to do and all the other things. So all
and
the
the
activities.
social district is awesome, so Saturday we see a lot of that in play. Come in, have lunch, walk around, and we're just like, hey, you're dragging your husband? Do you want a cocktail to go with it? And they're like, oh yeah.
The husband's like, wait a minute.
It's been great.
That's
yes.
good. That's a great selling point to
Yeah.
get them to walk around. Want to take your drink
I
with
did.
you?
I had a husband's like, all right, let's go. And I was like, And he's like, absolutely.
Kind of helps it out a
That's
bit.
nice.
It does.
And I think that you're also you're a great downtown champion. So that's totally appreciated,
I love
collaborating with the other businesses and just helping them, where you can. It's a huge piece. You also sit on the board for Downtown Statesville Development Corp. So you're aware of, the needs that are there as well. So being involved, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a board to sit on because having a business in the downtown, you really want to embrace everything you can embrace. Obviously, it's on you to promote your business at the end of the day, but really embracing and using the tools that are there to help you. We participate in every event that goes on downtown. I mean, it's just really worked out. They're great events, and, they bring in a lot of business.
Yeah.
But
A lot of work.
Yeah, the hope for some of those, especially the ones that we participate in with downtown, our goal is to bring people downtown that have not been here before. And that's always, come, they see, and they're like, oh, we need to come back and visit, and when there's, not so much going on and it's not so crazy. But I feel like we work hard on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see it next weekend.
Oh, yeah, we got the Pumpkin Festival coming up.
So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
one of the questions that we have is, and you've already said this because earlier, but as a chamber business, chamber member up to us, and we appreciate that support as well. You've already alluded to this, but I want to just touch on it one more time. Is like what the impact has been on your business being a Chamber of Commerce member. You said we gave us your first start as a catering in 2012, and
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
I sat on the leads committee. I met some great other businesses. There's just the business after hours. It's at Johnson's Greenhouse.
That's this week.
This
yes.
week.
They're 90 years.
We'll have a beautiful charcuterie display there.
Very good.
But you meet other like-minded businesses, and you're finding synergies between other businesses, and really trying to just. My biggest thing was getting into this community, and really figuring out. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember my first day in Leads Committee with Carol Hendricks, and now Carol's like family.
Yeah.
And but it all started with just being involved, and the chamber offers so much opportunity for that.
Well, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
We love your catering that you do for us. We love your friendship, your food, your family.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, we love all of those things. And
Well, I appreciate you all having me on today.
Yeah, and we know that you're going to continue to be an amazing business and continue to grow and feed our bellies with your deliciousness.
That'll be my husband.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well,
He's
and your
good.
team will be there
Yes,
to serve it.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for all the support.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you,
And
Kelly.
will you give us the address again?
Sure. We are 220 Cafe at 220 South Center Street in downtown Statesville.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.